The final match of the regular season, we welcome you to the Emerald City, Seattle, Washington, as Miami makes the cross-country trip to take on Seattle. This is how things look with one match remaining. Miami, they have already secured their spot in the postseason, their first ever trip to the playoffs coming up for the Sharks. But Seattle, all to play for tonight. They need a victory, and not just a win. They need a bonus point to win if they are going to get into the postseason. Glad to have you with us. Alongside Mark Stabina, I'm Kit McConico. And Mark, for Seattle, it's very simple. They need a win. They need the full 5 points. If they do so, they're in the postseason. If not, well, it comes down to some math, and that is not what the Seawolves want. They want their destiny in their own hands.
Kit, doesn't it make it so exciting? So much to play for, as you mentioned, for Seattle. Do or die, basically. Yes, Miami are in, but they've got a lot to play for as well. They could jump into third. That could totally change their playoff campaign as well. Seattle, as you said, need to score the bonus point, win, and their recent form suggests that they'll probably do that tonight if they play the way they've been playing. But one thing they don't want to do is underestimate Miami. Even though they don't have a lot of their main players out there, they can beat anyone, anywhere, at any time.
That's a great point. Miami in absolutely fantastic form of late. Let's take a look at our head-to-head. Who are you keeping an eye on?
Well, the battle up front could be the difference between winning and losing today. And these two men will be front and center. Seattle's Dewi Kutsa earning his 50th MLR cap. Has only played about half a game more than Miami's hooker Sean McNulty this season, so these stats provide a decent comparison, where McNulty seems to be more of a threat with ball in hand. But Kotza might get the edge with his line-out throwing accuracy, giving Seattle a dangerous weapon in Miami's red zone. Where he falls short in attack, he makes up for in his defensive work. This will be a monstrous matchup, folks.
Just the second ever meeting between the Sharks and the Seawolves. A must-win game for Seattle. Can they get the victory and head to the postseason? We'll see. We take a look at lineups and starting kick when we return to Starfire after this. Today's match is proudly brought to you by Vitacost. Game day essentials, everyday savings, the official online health retailer of MLR. Shop now at Vitacost.com. And by Sportable. Smart ball insights and data brought to you by Sportable. Take a look at the starting lineups. First, the forwards for the home side. Cameron Orr, Juan Pablo Saiz are the props. Booking Canadian International Deovault Kutset Hooker. While Limbe Mpofu and USA Eagles CC Mahoney form the engine room. Seawolves captain Rickard Hadding pairs with Seawolves leading tackle Charles Elton and Samoan International OJ Noah in the back row. Now we take a look at the backs for the home side. JP Smith, Rodney Yona are the halfbacks. Dan Creel and Divan Rousseau form one of the most impressive center pairings in the league. Jade Stuffling and Ina Futi on the wings, with the star South African fullback Duncan Matthews rounding out the 15. For Seattle, led by former Irish international hooker Alan Clark, the head man, 5th year in charge of the Pacific Northwest side. USA Eagle Chance Wingluski, a chance for his 75th MLR appearance. Off the bench is front row cover. Canadian international Jesse McHale is the replacement hooker, and Nick Boyer, the replacement scrum half for the home team. Now we take a look at the starters for the visitors from South Florida. Only one starter retained from the Sharks squad that clinched their first trip to the postseason with last week's win over San Diego. USA Eagle Sean McNulty starts at hooker alongside Uruguayan international Reynaldo Bussi at tight head prop. Former #1 overall pick Rick Rose pairs with Argentine Mauro Rebosone in the second row. And Calvin Ehring earns his first ever MLR start at open side flanker. In the backs, Chilean international Santiago Videla at 10, one of the vice captains, along with the Argentine Tommy Malanos at outside center. Jake Negrete on loan from Houston on the left wing, and Lautaro Soto on the right, both earning their first ever MLR starts. Connor Burns, the fullback for Miami. Miami, led by second-year head coach Jose Pelacena, the former Argentine U20 coach, is named Tongan international Tao Golomatangi as front row cover. Uruguayan international Tomas Inciarte headlines the replacement backs, with Isaac Bales and Blake Pareda both having a chance to make their MLR debuts off the bench. Referee for today's contest from Georgia is Abuashvili, third match of the season. They've all come in the last 3 rounds. He's assisted by Jacob Gonzalez. Juan Parra, Derek Summers is our TMO for today's contest. A beautiful evening in the Pacific Northwest, 64 degrees and sunny, a slight breeze. Absolutely stellar weather for tonight's contest. Great conditions, a must-win for Seattle. Mark, you said it is do or die for the Seawolves. They must win. They must get the bonus point victory if they are going to head to the postseason. A team that fell in a last year's championship final to New England, looking for another opportunity to hoist what would be their 3rd shield. Both Seattle and New England having won 2. No teams in MLR have won more. Miami in the pink, ready to get us underway. Sharks' first season last year, they were 6-10. They've already surpassed that, an 8-7 record as the Chilean international Santiago Videla ready to get us underway from Starfire. Creel and Elton ready to receive. Off we go. Glad to have you with us. Final match of the 2025 MLR regular season. He's Mark Sabina. I'm Kit McConico. And Seattle fans, they were here early. Great atmosphere, as is always the case at Starfire. And they know what's at stake. Yona, Samoan international, putting boot to ball. Back he goes. A very different Miami side as Burns sends that one over. Picked up by Yona up to midfield before he's taken down. Seattle quickly on the front foot. Now, the big man, Mountain CC Mahoney, all 6'8" of him. Beautiful offload from the second row. And you can see the sense of urgency already from Seattle. Matthews, a show and go, able to find Elton. Brought down, big tackle that time from the new addition, Lautaro Soto, in his first MLR start. Looking for the offload. That time, Reno Herbst getting the hands free. Rousseau quickly through the hands. Futi tripped up. Nice tackle from the vice captain Malanos. Futi able to offload into the hands of Stuffling. The South African off to his countryman, Rickard Hadding. Seattle just shy of the try line, trying to get across and dot one down early. Just over a minute in, Seattle looking to strike. Still waiting for the signal. Seattle inches from the try line. They need a win in 4 tries, and they have their first. 90 seconds in, Seattle is on the board. The big lock, Malimbe Mpofu with the opening 5 for the Seawolves.
Seattle, a near impeccable start to this game. From the counter-attack, Rodney Yona started everything. There he is. Well, that's Futi there a little bit later on. The urgency at which Seattle are playing, making their intentions clear right from the opening whistle, constantly going forward. You see Miami just doing their best to get back in defense, scrambling. And it was a mere formality. This is something that Coach Alan Clark wanted his team to do better, and that is capitalize on opportunities in the opposition 22, and boy, have they done that.
And Bofu, South African first year with Seattle, able to barge across and dot it down. Now the conversion attempt from Yona. Splits the 6. 7-0 Seattle. This is exactly what they needed. A great start from the home side.
The head-on view of the drive. 2 players involved. That's all it took.
Seattle, their first try, they still need 3 more. At least we forget it has to be a victory. 4 tries and a loss will not do it. They saw San Diego, a barnstorming victory yesterday down at Torero Stadium. They took down Old Glory DC. Now Seattle knows what they have to do. Take a look at our keys to victory for this one. Seattle off to a good start, and that was certainly one of them.
Well, Kit, Coach Alan Clark told us this week that his team is finally finding their fitness after a slow start due to no preseason games. And with that fitness, they'll want to back themselves in attack by being patient and building phases rather than just kick it away unnecessarily. For Miami, Coach Jose Pelicena shared with us his desire to focus on winning set piece, especially knowing how good Seattle is with the second best scrum and line-out success in the league. He also said he wants to continue relying on their strong kicking game, but the chase and defense after their kicks needs to be on point given Seattle's counter-attacking abilities, which we've already seen tonight.
We have indeed. Miami ball in hand, trying to respond after conceding the opener. Scrum half, Damian Morley there, a little stab kick through from Videla, read well by Matthews, trying to shake his way free. Matthews, oh, what an offload.
Advantage.
It's going to be advantage to Seattle to boot. Well, back we come. Miami pinged, and it may be a card to boot or simply a talking. We will see. And Asaba Abulashvili from the Republic of Georgia, our referee.
Very likely it's just a penalty now. You want to make a tackle, just bend.
Stick with your on-field.
Uruguayan international Reynaldo Piusi, fortunate, goes away with just a penalty for the high tackle there against the big Uruguayan tight head prop. So Seattle will send it to touch, picking up some big meters here for the Seawolves.
Well, Kit, right on cue it seemed after our keys to victory. Miami stabs it in behind. They chase really hard, but Matthews still escapes and gets the offload. That is what Seattle have come here to do. They're trying to run everything. They're trying to lift the pace of the game, and with that tempo, they're just going to have Miami's defense in 6s and 7s.
Puts the Canadian international his 50th MLR start. Good line-out throw through the phases onto the 8-man Samoan international OJ Noah. It's ripped free by Miami. So Sharks with it just outside their own 22, but unable to hold on, and this will find touch. But just as quickly given back by Miami. Mark, you mentioned that slow start to the season for Seattle, and it was just that, lost 4 of their first 5. But in the last 10 matches, they've suffered just 3 defeats. It really has been a tale of 2 seasons for Seattle.
Well, and aren't they finding their form at the right end as well? As opposed to, let's say, San Diego, who started out of the gates with 5 wins, and it seemed to be early on their season, and the wheels tended to fall off.
Advantage, no con.
McNulty, it'll be advantage to Miami, says our referee.
Advantage over.
Miami just trying to have a bit of time with ball in hand, something they've enjoyed very little of through
by a narrow margin.
They are indeed. San Diego waiting, hoping Miami, with 14 of the 15 new from a week ago. Miami, that big victory over San Diego down in South Florida. Beat the Legion 36-32 to secure their first trip to the postseason. Yona with the big boot. Burns under the high ball, met immediately is Miami's fullback. Vivela on to Tucci. Miami, a heavily rotated side, obviously looking ahead at the postseason. But an opportunity for some of these players that haven't gotten a lot of time to put their hand up as Miami heads to the postseason and maybe make their case to be included in that match day 23 come the playoffs.
Okay, ball is there. That's your
And certainly give Seattle a run for their money. That much we know for sure.
Use it. Go.
Morley with the box kick. Matthews hit immediately, able to hold on. Great chase there. You mentioned that a key. Tommy Malanos, the vice captain, the Argentine there for the Sharks. Smith, Yona, quickly through the hands, out wide, and looking for Creel along that top touch line. He's bundled up quickly. Smith missed some time in the middle of the season. He was out injured. Seattle able to sign Nick Boyer, who came in, and USA Eagle was absolutely outstanding in his first few matches. Smith back healthy, Boyer on the bench. What a luxury that is to have two quality scrum halves of that caliber. Burns unable to weave his way through. Videla. A fin to there. Going forward is McAdam. Tucci hit immediately. McNulty. Miami having trouble holding on.
Miami were playing with a penalty advantage.
And you mentioned a heavily rotated squad today. For obvious reasons, Coach Pelicena trying to rest some key players, give some fringe players game time tonight, much needed game time. They may be needed during the postseason. But perhaps that play there where you saw the ball go to ground might be a symptom of putting new players together that aren't used to those combinations. You can expect to see a little bit of that tonight because some players are coming in not having that cohesion that, let's say, the regular starters might have when executing plays like that.
See the try scorer, Malimbe Mpofu for Seattle, being attended to by the training staff. Big South African lock will have to come off at least momentarily to be checked out as Taylor Crumry comes on in his stead, the former University of Oregon Duck. 6-year overall Seattle, second stint with the Seawolves. He was with them when they won the first two titles back in 2018 and 19, their first ever Shields, the first 2 years of Major League Rugby. They played for 4, they've won 2, they've lost 2, most recently last year to New England. But a team that is not only accustomed to being in the postseason, they're accustomed to playing for titles. And they know that if they're going to have another shot here in 2025, they have to win today. Videla, Chilean international, sent to this. The native of Santiago de Chile sends it to touch just at the 22. Does the 26-year-old. Line out coming.
Miami chose to kick protection, will retain the line out possession, attacking, winning the Seawolves 22.
So one match currently underway as well down in the Lone Star State, Houston. They went down early. Anthem struck first, had a 7-0 lead. Houston has responded with the last 14 points, has the home side. Houston with the lead there. Obviously an important match as well. Houston having clinched his spot in the playoffs, but they want a home field match as well to begin the postseason. McNulty spinning off. DeToy.
No hands. You play advantage.
So much of the postseason picture crystallizing. So much focus, as you said, on this match. Back we will go for the penalty.
You come here, number 1.
Mahoney and Tucci getting a talking to.
What we got is he's trying to get back. He's not part of the run. Okay. After that, you tap at his head. Yeah. This should finish now. I don't want to see that anymore, okay? No, both understand? We stick the original penalty there, which is side entry in the middle. That's number 6, right?
Great to see
5.
the referee just taking charge early on. Don't want to see anything silly. Let's just play rugby. And oh, there's the values of rugby too. Those two players, the respect they have for one another. Shaking hands. Let's get on with it. The ref's right. We're here to play.
10 minutes in, Seattle leading 7-0. Lone try came 90 seconds in, courtesy of Malimbe and Pofu. Balak able to dot it down. Seattle's not been able to extend the lead. Here's a golden opportunity for Miami to respond. Earring at his first MLR start with the line-out take. McNulty at the back of the maul, trying to get some forward momentum. Thus far, not going anywhere against those big bodies for the Seattle forwards. Taken out, Detroit. Videla, maybe a bit of space outside. Burns stepping in, the offload all through the hands of McAdam. Joshua McAdam. Johannesburg native unable to hold on and brings that attacking sequence to a close.
Wow, missed opportunity for Miami. Well played from the line out. Accurate throw. Beautifully taken by Eric. The drive went nowhere due to some staunch defense from the Seattle pack. So it was up to the backs to try and do something with it. And quite possibly a little bit of miscommunication. The out ball there and then coming in on the angle and then back out. It was an offload that was rocketed to his chest. So I'd hate to be Josh McAdam trying to take that one under a lot of pressure. You can't pin it solely on that young man.
Scrum to Seattle, JP Smith. First scrum for the home side. Certainly one of the strengths of Seattle this season has been their set piece.
Set!
Smith puts in. Push for Miami, taken around the back, goes Noah, the Samoan international. Always dangerous ball in hand. Back to Yona to clear the lines. A touch finder just shy of midfield from Rodney Yona.
Fantastic clearance from Yona. Deep in his territory there, as almost a sellout tonight, Kit, as you would expect. Final game here in Tequila.
Always great attendance at Starfire, one of the most difficult places for opponents to play in MLR. Last week, Seattle on the road at one of the other iconic grounds, Fort Quincy there, home of the two-time champion Free Jacks of New England. Seattle ultimately fell 30-37, but it wasn't the scoreline, it was the missed tackles. That was the headline, and that is something Seattle could not repeat here tonight if they're going to come away with the win.
Be careful after whistle, please. Careful after whistle.
Juan Pablo Saiz, the Argentine international, first year with Seattle for the former Dallas man.
Here's the penalty, Kit. Great tackle from Yona coming in, but then it was Creel straight onto the ball. And Miami, I believe it was...
You can have a scrum there.
Milanos penalized for holding on. So that was all Yona and Creel in combination. Just what you want from your backs as well, to get in, get their hands dirty, do the physical work.
Just on this side, yeah. Just make sure wait the signals, okay? Keep the space, wait the signals. Yeah.
Seem to be some early jitters perhaps from some of these new players.
Was really good.
Miami team. We've seen a couple of the backline players fumble the ball a little bit. As you would expect, this is their opportunity to put their hand up. They're in the playoffs, and this is their chance to give the coach every reason to pick them 2 weeks in a row.
6 feet.
Yeah, Mark, you said just that. Really a golden opportunity for a lot of these fringe players. It's Miami.
Okay, bring this up, please.
Having to make a change. Chase Shore-Haskett comes up, does the Florida native and former Life University man. Will have to be checked out. Big blindside flanker.
And this is one of those players we're speaking about. Chase, fantastic young prospect. In the US7 setup for a while as well. Brilliant talent. Hopefully he can return to the field, not just for himself, but for his team as well. He's a wonderful asset.
What you mean by
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Canadian international Giuseppe Toy. A few words with our referee. It'll be Kramer Murray comes on. First year with Miami, spent last year with Anthem for the 20-year-old Englishman, taking the place of Shore Haskett. He mentioned some of these young players, really golden opportunity for them. Murray, perfect example there as he will come off the bench early in this one. Just under a quarter of an hour in, still 7-0 Seattle. Lone try came 90 seconds in from Malimbe Mpofu. They've not been able to add to it. Absolutely beautiful day in the Pacific Northwest. The fans were here early. They know what's at stake. As Jose Pelacena looking on, the 48-year-old Argentine out of La Plata. They're just south of Buenos Aires. Former Pumitas, the Argentina U20 head coach. Second year in charge for the former scrum half. He said he didn't expect his team to make the playoffs until year 3. They're ahead of schedule. They did it in year 2.
He's very proud of his team, as you can imagine, and just show the patience, the belief. That's one thing when we spoke to him, Keddies. What he believes has got his team there are the connections, the way these players bonded and on and off the field.
Attacking opportunity here off the back. Here comes Malanos. On to McAdam. Able to get by Inafuti, comes back, big tackle
What you calling that
from the Eagle. Videla bobbles ultimately on to Busey. Now the Busey taken down quickly. Now the 8-man, Marcus Falau, with his first carry for the Washington State native back in his old stomping grounds. Videla swung down, Creel with the tackle. Burns quickly through the hands. Miami, rare attacking opportunity. Tucci, back it goes. And a whistle as Miami playing with the advantage. And back we will go for the initial infraction.
I didn't see that.
Just a penalty. Just a penalty.
Here our TMO, Derek Summers, saying just a penalty.
I was wondering if this was going to get pulled back. Well, there's the final play, but...
Yeah, knock-on's just in the tackle as well, so no delivery. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
The original infringement where Videla is kicking the ball from was the tackle of Inafuti on McAdam. No wrap. If you can remember, McAdam flying over the top, acrobatic style. Fortunately for Fudi, no yellow card. However, Miami now handed prime opportunity to score.
Line out for McNulty just inside the 22. And it ends up in the hands of the captain, Ricard Hadding. Miscue on the set piece. Now we'll see what Yona can do. Out wide. Has a man. Rousseau on to Matthews. Matthews flying forward. Has Stuffling. Jake Stuffling. Nothing but green grass in front of him. And the South African wing downshifts as he cruises across for the second try for Seattle. Just over a quarter of an hour in. They need 4. They've already dotted 2 down.
That is a vintage Seattle backline try. All the way from their own 22. This is what we talked about, whether it's from a kick or a turnover. The counter-attacking ability of Seattle is second to none. That play, it was a 2-on-2. Rousseau and Matthews were able to turn the opposite defenders in front of them inside out to put Matthews away. And then it was a formality just to hand it off. Here's the 2-on-1. Great angle from behind to see that. And Jade Stuckling, thank you very much. Set free for a wonderful 5-pointer. Now 7, thanks to the successful conversion by Yona.
14-0 Seattle, 18 minutes in. pair of South Africans finding the tries in Mpofu and Stuckling for the Seawolves as they are halfway there. Finding tries early. They need the win. 4 tries. That'll give them the bonus point. 5 points total. That will be enough to get ahead of San Diego and send them to the postseason. Mark, as you said, a lot of very interested people in Southern California watching and not pleased with the way this is starting. Back to the action we go. The restart from Videla. Miami trying to respond. It has been all Seattle thus far. Miami's had a few opportunities, a few knock-ons and miscues, bringing it close to their offensive chances. Seattle has come out knowing what they had to do, and it's been very well executed thus far by the Seawolves. Videla under the high ball, met immediately. Here comes Burns. Malanos. Combination tackle, Futi alongside Creel. Pusey waiting his first receiver, the big Uruguayan prop, nowhere to go. Videla, little chip over for the Chilean. It appeared to be some obstruction. Yeah, very obvious there on the part of Seattle.
Seattle penalized for obstructing the kicker.
Okay, very ambitious tactic from Videla. Love to see it.
After kick.
Oh, he even pumped for the long kick and then just dropped it on the toe for a chip. Unable to get to that ball thanks to a dark blue and green shield in front of him.
Break.
And that's a good clearance kick as well, getting his team well down, almost into the red zone.
You got the water break, you can bring him.
We'll step aside for our first hydration break. 20 minutes in, Seattle 14-0. Seawolves halfway to the 4 tries they need to book their spot in the postseason.
In an ever-changing landscape where every decision matters, our mission is clear: to delight our customers at every turn. At Globant, we create the digital products everybody loves and empower global brands by building impactful solutions for millions of people. Our studio networks are responsible for creating experiences that leave a lasting impact, building AI-powered business solutions tailored to each industry, empowering brands with a blend of creativity, strategy, and technology, enhancing efficiency and accelerating breakthroughs with a unique AI model and agents for software development, boosting productivity with cutting-edge tech and implementation services with market-leading partners. Driven by technology and passion, we dare to go far, we dare to go fast, we dare to disrupt. Globant, technology that dares to delight.
Utopia, Washington. And a proud
Make sure to book your tickets now. Saturday, June the 28th. It is going to be the 2025 Major League Rugby Championship in Centerville Bank Stadium in Rhode Island. You can get your tickets majorleague.rugby/champ. Make sure, mark your calendars. First round of the playoffs next weekend, June 14th and 15th on ESPN Plus. Conference finals Saturday, June the 21st. Eastern Conference final at 1 p.m. Eastern and the Western at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Mark, we said it in the open. This is the final match of the regular season. A lot of drama. Seattle, obviously, season hanging in the balance. But through the first 20 minutes, they've done exactly what they needed to do. 2 tries. They've kept Miami off the board.
They have. They're looking good. And Kit, Miami really need to make something of this line-out. They were here only moments ago. They lost the line-out, and it turned into a Seattle try. They're going to get back into this game, I feel, after 20 minutes. It's got to be now.
Nope. Not in this situation. Line-out stolen away. The set piece has been an issue thus far. Seattle more than up to the task. Back in the pocket again, the big booming boot of Yona stays in. Videla feels it just shy of midfield. Here they come, Burns now into a wall of blue kits.
Okay, we get back to advantage. Everyone in front, everyone advancing.
Here the referee is going to be penalty against Seattle.
You're on the line, you're on the line.
What a chance this is for Miami. Need to find points here.
All of you are in front.
Oh, just a quick explanation maybe for new viewers, Kit. The penalty there The ball went all the way back to Yona in his end zone. He kicked it, and everybody in front of him is offside unless either Yona himself or somebody behind him races ahead and puts everybody onside. Nobody can move. Everybody moved forward. Nobody was put onside. Therefore, we come all the way back for a penalty. And can they capitalize now, Miami?
USA Eagles, Sean McNulty, maybe his biggest line-out throw coming. The last two have been stolen away. There have been issues. On to Rose in the red scrum cap, former #1 MLR draft pick.
Tackle now, release, he's tackled. Release now, he's tackled.
Hatting told to release. Regolsone goes to ground, 5 meters out. Here comes Miami.
Advantage.
It's going to be advantage to the Sharks as well. Morley trying to dig it out. Back to the near side, McAdam. Not getting by Futi. Massive tackle for Mino Futi. Thus far, Seattle, the Seawolves more than up to a cross-field kick from Videla. Back we go again. Miami playing the advantage, and if you're Santiago Videla, why not give it a go?
Absolutely, especially with a boot like that. Seattle was ready for it, however, out wide.
The number of penalties, now it's not rolling away. One is not rolling away, he's blocking the ball.
They're piling the pressure on Miami.
Yeah, of course, take your time.
Exactly what they need to do.
Time is off. Yeah.
How about this tackle from Ina Futi? McAdam, nowhere to go. Probably don't want to try that tactic again against Ina Futi. You see all those Seattle jerseys, really well covered out there. You get the feeling that the best chance here for Miami is through their pack from close quarters. Exactly what they're going to try now. And Kit, you would have to say, from this close to the line, normally the opposition won't want to contest the ball in the air. They just want to let Miami catch it so they can quickly drive in and stop the forward momentum. Well, they've contested too.
They did. CeCe Mahoney unable to get it away from Rose. McNulty at the back of the driving maul. McNulty waiting for a time to peel off. Here comes McNulty. Elton with the tackle alongside JP Smith. Miami electing to go wide, trying to find a bit of space.
No hands!
Great defense from Seattle, getting out wide with speed. It's going to be penalty to Miami and a yellow card issued to Divan Rousseau, the Namibian international, seeing the first yellow of the match. So Seattle down a man for the next 10, and not just a man, a huge piece in their star outside center.
It certainly is, Kit. And we saw the referee only moments prior to this yellow card warning Captain Rickett Hatting. The team has been giving away penalty after penalty.
I think ball was already out.
Here, consider this a warning. Next one, especially this close to the line, I'm going to send someone in the bin, and it happened to be Divan Rousseau.
Namibian international, second in the league in meters gained, leads Seattle in tries as well. He is off the pitch for the next 10 minutes. Seattle down a man, and see what Miami can do with the advantage. Morley, the 22-year-old New York City native out of the famed Xavier High School, has produced so many top American rugby players ready to put in. Miami needs to find points here, particularly up a man. Morley around the side, sitting out wide. Videla steps. Videla still. Finally brought down. Miami inching closer to that try line. Morley. Tucci. Right into the arms of Mpofu. Mpofu tried to rip it away, unable to do so, but Miami going in the wrong direction. McNulty now. Zeiss holding on for the tackle. Videla out wide, has a man. McAdam stood up by Matthews. McAdam still. And now the cavalry comes in. McAdam trying to get across. And he does.
He's done it.
Josh McAdam kept the legs churning, and the South African former Davenport University man, has Miami on the board.
Well, I was about to give all the praise to Duncan Matthews for that try-saving tackle. I thought he had thwarted the efforts of McAdam. The strength of McAdam. Look at that wrestle upright, and then the reinforcements come in from Seattle, but somehow Josh McAdam, with some help from his teammates, is able to wriggle over a well-deserved try. They've been knocking on the door, Miami. This will show the tussle. What a great angle there. Even just to stay in the field of play, let alone get over the try line, was a miracle from McAdam.
The 27-year-old born in Johannesburg, South Africa, second year with the Sharks. A huge try as Videla to attempt the conversion from in front of the Seawolves bench. Videla somehow sends it over, and it's a 7-point game. So with Rousseau in the bin, Miami wasting no time. They've cut the deficit in half. 15 minutes remaining in the opening 40.
I was just about to say before those scenes right there, I noticed in the back play, whilst making a tackle, Dan Creel clutched at his hamstring, and there's the result. Stayed on, did his best. But I knew, I'd been there before. I've never really grabbed at my hamstring and been able to play the rest of the game, put it that way.
Star inside center, 31-year-old out of Cape Town, fourth year of Seattle, comes off. He'll give way to his countryman, Eddie Fouchier, 27-year-old former Gricka's man. First year with Seattle, but that is a massive loss as well. So not just Rousseau in the bin, but their star center Creel, who dealt with injury issues early this season. They didn't have him for a lot of the early season. We mentioned how difficult things were for Seattle early on, losing 4 of their first 5. The absence of Creel, a big reason why. Hadding injured as well.
You have to play on the ball.
But when Hadding and Creel came back and they were healthy, well, it wasn't a surprise that Seattle started to win games.
You have to play on the ball.
Not at all. And look, that's not just a blow for this game. Think about, they get through this, they win with a bonus point. Creel potentially out for the next few weeks. We hope not. I think this postseason needs Dan Creel. But ever so slightly now the momentum shift in favor of Miami. A man in the bin for Seattle. Dan Creel goes off, a try.
It's a 7-point game. McNulty with the line-out throw coming. Nicely done, right into the hands of Earring in his first MLR start. Here comes Busey. Just shy of 300 pounds, the big Uruguayan prop. Always difficult to bring down. And now Dutoy, Canadian international. Miami on the front foot. You could tell they have a spring in their step after the try. But a loss into the hands of Futi. Futi! So difficult to bring to ground. And now it's Seattle back to work. Fouchier, Hadding. Bundled to touch. Big tackle there from Earring. And that was all set up by Ina Futi. The wing is such a huge offensive threat, but defensively impressive as well.
There's the tackle. It's Yona. And it looks like Fouchier as well. Ripped it out, and then Futi cleans up. He's so good, so strong. Like he only knows one way. He's only looking in one direction, pumping those legs. A tough man to bring down.
USA Eagle, 5th year with Seattle. And you're right, when Futi has ball in hand, you know where he is going. Goes for that try line.
Hold on a second. When time is on, you just need to get the water out.
12 minutes remaining in this first half. Seattle down a man. Rousseau saw yellow in the 23rd, and he is out for the next 4.5 minutes. Miami trying to extend man advantage, but it's knocked on here.
The line-out woes continue, Kit. It's exactly what Coach Pelicena was telling us. Set piece is key, not only nullifying Seattle's strong set piece, but we got to get our set piece right as well if we want to match it with this team on their home turf. And they've left opportunity after opportunity on the table thus far.
Wait the scrum call, okay? Don't get in before.
Jose Pilla said that was one of his keys. And you said it, not just stymieing the Seattle set piece, but taking advantage. It's been an issue at times this year as we take a live look in down in the Lone Star State. Houston at home leading Anthem, under 10 minutes remaining. A tight affair there, just a 5-point game. Anthem ball in hand, trailing. We'll keep an eye on that one. Houston trying to secure the victory. They've already clinched a spot in the playoffs, but they want to clinch a home playoff match as well, as Miami wins the scrum penalty. And a big boost for the men in pink.
Just going back to that game, we saw a flash of Houston, Anthem looking for their first win ever. Wouldn't that be something? And of course, RFCLA are nervously watching Houston. They're sat in second position, 3 points clear, actually 2 points clear of Houston. If Houston somehow get beaten by Anthem, and Anthem are looking strong, then RFCLA keeps their home quarterfinal position. God, there's so much to play for in this round, isn't it? It's just incredible.
You took the words right out of my mouth. There's so much parity from top to bottom this year in MLR. No match decided. There are no foregone conclusions. We've seen that. We've seen it here today. We've seen it in every single match. Houston obviously trying to hang on. Seattle trying to do the same, but both in a fight. Another throw coming from McNulty. 10 minutes remaining in this first half. Rousseau still in the bin for another 2 minutes is the Star Center. We've already seen his center mate, Dan Creel, come off. It appeared to be a hamstring injury. Now Videla, Burns, trying to find some space, pass off target. Duncan Matthews putting boot to ball. Gonna be a foot race to it. Burns trying to get on top of it. No, it's Malanos. Malanos saving Miami, the Argentine racing back to retain possession.
Tackle release. No, you have the ball. You got the ball. It's your pass.
Malanos behind the play, but able to come back. What a huge run that was. Miami trying to bring it out of their own 22. And Mpofu trying to poach it at the breakdown. It's going to go against Miami, not releasing. Take a look at the previous play from Malanos.
Well, it was clever kicked ahead by Duncan Matthews, and as you said, kid, a foot race. But have a look at the work from Malanos to win the race, but then scoops it up, turns the body, stays low, and drives forward. That is not easy to do, folks. And sadly for Miami, it was all in vain, because now Seattle a chance to extend their lead.
Mark there? Is this my mark right here? Oh, can you give me my mark here?
Mark, you said it. Miami had started to gain some traction, some footing in this match after the try, and with Rousseau in the bin,
I'm back.
It's Seattle a chance to score against the run of play. Can they find their third and extend the lead back to 14? But it's going to go against Seattle. A huge mistake on the line out by the Seawolves.
Number 8, offside.
Well, you heard it. Lajuan Noah offside with that drive.
Seattle penalized
It was clinically done. Brought down by Hudding. A difficult angle to see that. And nonetheless, Miami, talk about cashing in that get out of jail card. That was crucial for them, and now Seattle back to their full complement. The yellow card.
Okay, bring him in.
Timer has run its course.
With that, Divan Rousseau back out on the pitch as we are all even 15 v 15 for the remainder. Barring another card, obviously. But Seattle conceding the one try down a man. It could have been worse. But a missed opportunity. Noah, the 8-man, letting Miami off the hook on that previous play. Back to the action. DeToy's first receiver. Brought to ground. Kutza leading the charge defensively. Zeiss there as well. Morley readies the box kick. Skyscraper from the young scrum half, back to Futi. And now Matthews returning fire. Very well taken. Santiago Videla.
Back, retreat!
Team's happy to play the kicking game, at least for the time being. Yona looking for space in behind.
Keep them out.
Videla will watch this one. Go over the in-goal line, and a mistake there from Yona and the Seawolves.
Always a danger with this artificial pitch being firm and the in-goal areas being so small. There's a few of these situations in the league where, knowing you haven't got necessarily the luxury of putting long kicks downfield and keeping it in the field of play, you've got to be precise, because look at the punishment. Kicking it too far, comes all the way back.
Collect the pitch.
You hand the ball over to your opposition where you kicked it. Still got to win this scrum, but their scrum's been quite sound tonight, Miami. It's just the line out. It's been a little wobbly.
No, you're right, scrum, good attacking platforms provided when it's via their own put in. Defensively, they've won scrum penalty. They're doing their job. See what they can do here. 5 minutes remaining in the first half.
Bind!
Boy, that Eagle Impact Rugby Academy.
Use it!
The New Yorker brings it out to Toy. Videla. McAdam, the try scorer, wrapped up quickly.
More now!
Trouble for Miami.
Ladies and gentlemen, the offensive player taking the ball into the tackle has to
Trouble indeed. Smith with a quick restart. And here comes Seattle after taking it back. Oh, what a step from Futi. Futi across the 22. And able to get by Videla.
Okay, you got the ball.
Lightning in a bottle is Ina Futi. The Chilean with a try-saving tackle for Miami. Miami able to pinch it at the breakdown. Great job for Miami winning it back as Pusey finally brought to ground.
Ball is carried back.
Back to Santiago Videla. Matthews looking to step. Matthews. A whistle and maybe more coming from our referee. We will see.
Miami penalized for a high tackle.
Miami with the high tackle, and we will see if they're going to escape this with just a penalty.
Jack, you hear me?
Yes, I got you.
So Houston has extended the lead. The clock now in the red down in the Lone Star State. It appears that the SaberCats are going to hold on for the victory there.
I need you to confirm that, and after that we move to a measure.
Seconds away from Houston securing that win, and now all focus in MLR will be right here to Starfire. This is the final match remaining in the regular season.
He is upright. There is foul play.
Remember, season ticket members score 15% off.
Derek, we got the two open mics, so I just don't hear anything you're telling me.
I don't like this conversation between the ref and
Can you
TMO
repeat, please?
for Miami.
Yeah, two
Sean
pink.
McNulty.
He is upright. There is head contact. There is foul play.
Yeah, so there is a foul play, there is head contact, defender is upright. Can you measure the degree of danger?
Degree of danger is not high.
It's not high, so we're gonna go to yellow card, right?
Correct.
Rugby Player of the Year awards.
Okay, that's Miami.
Correct.
That's Miami number
2.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Lindenwood. Lindenwood,
Sean McNulty, the USA Eagle,
You
will
are
see
upright.
yellow.
Head contact, degree of danger not high, that's a yellow card.
And there's the confirmation. Rousseau saw yellow. He's back out on the pitch, and now Miami is going to finish the first half down a man as McNulty heads to the bin. Miami's 14th yellow card of the season, the first for McNulty.
That was great officiating out there for that decision. Not great for Miami. Seattle now closer to that try line with the driving maul impending. Miami with less weight now in this forward pack to try and stop a potential Seattle steamroller.
Starting hooker off the pitch. What a chance this is for Seattle to find points. But no, it's going to be against Seattle. Obstruction in the lineout. That is the second time they've had obstruction in the lineout. Another golden opportunity missed by the Seawolves.
So this is something that refs have been clamping down on this season in particular. You see Rickard Hadding coming down, but there's a couple of Seattle players just in front of him acting as a shield, preventing Miami defenders to come in and hit that ball carrier, perhaps even turn him, win the ball, make the tackle, put him to ground without sacking them all. So yes, as you said, Kid, a clinical mistake. Coach Clark, he won't be happy with that.
Seattle up a man, an attacking line out in the red zone inside the 22. Final minutes here of the first half, and they turn it over with obstruction. Those are mistakes you cannot make with your season on the line.
Exactly, especially against Miami. This is what they do well. They just stay out of trouble, and then they take their opportunities. Before you know it, you're losing against Miami when you felt like perhaps you had the momentum, the dominance. But Miami, they just stay in the hunt. Their defense,
We good to play?
scrambling, scraggy.
Okay. Time back on.
And rare you see this, it's going to be the 8-man Marcus Falau who comes over to take the line out throw. Again, McNulty, the hooker, in the bin. So we'll see what Falau has with his first line out throw attempt of the season. Fortunately, it comes back to him, and he's able to get the offload. Maybe not how they drew it up, but Miami will take it, and they're able to continue. Miami, piecemeal line out there, but it worked at least in that situation. Back to the open side. Offload. Trying to find a bit of space. Weaving his way through. Ehrig.
No, he was onside. He was onside.
Videla. Play continues inside the 22. Here comes Malanos. Malanos weaving his way through the Seattle defense. Malanos finally brought to ground, but not wrapped up. Final few seconds in the first half. Across it goes and into touch.
Okay, you can have scrum there or 22.
A helter-skelter passage of play there.
He was back.
What did we just say, Kid? This is what Miami can do. Give them half a chance. That little interchange between Videla, Malanos, superb. And what about the hit from Noah?
Yeah, 22.
And if he wanted to wrap his arms,
Be careful.
he already knocked the player out.
Be careful in the clean out. Okay,
And Mark, as Miami fans have seen all season, they play some of their best rugby in broken play situations. That is certainly to their advantage. They couldn't make anything of it there as the clock now in the red here at the end of the first half. Seattle leading by 7. They need a victory in 4 tries. They have 2 thus far. Mpofu found the first 90 seconds in. Stuchling in the 17th, a beautiful team try. But Miami responded in the 25th from McAdam. Maybe one final opportunity for the Sharks here at the end of the first half. Went backwards, Smith unable to hold it. But it's going to be Miami ball. JP Smith not releasing after the tackle. Mistake from the veteran you do not anticipate from Seattle Star scrum half.
And there's an example of Miami using their kicking game.
Shot called.
The tactic, putting it high, putting pressure on the receiver. On that occasion, it was JP Smith. He did well to get it in the end, but just too many Miami jerseys coming in straight over the top. And
I think he got onside, and afterwards he gets involved in the game.
Miami's going to take the opportunity to kick for posts here, and why not? They have the best goal kicking percentage in the league. Videla is 85% off the tee. He's 11 for 13 this season. Clock in the red. They can cut this to a 4-point game if Videla can send it through.
I agree with you. Why not? It's just been back and forth, and at least 3 points is something to show for their efforts and maybe start to shift the momentum a little bit back in their favor, Miami.
Santiago Videla raises the flags to end the first half. And Miami has cut it to a 4-point game. Seattle 14, Miami 10, all to play for in the final 40. Season on the line for the Seawolves, but it's the Sharks who take the momentum into the sheds. Take a look at our first half try summary. Mpofu and Stuffling put Seattle up early, then McAdam with the response, and you saw it seconds ago, the huge penalty from the star fly half Videla. It's a 4-point game. We'll step aside at halftime. Seattle leading 14-10 at the break.
I can't tell if that's the chest hair or the beard hair.
You know what? I think we've got off to the wrong foot here with the soul patches and the beards.
Shave me off. This looks terrible.
Beard could talk, what would it say?
I don't know. I wouldn't say much. It's pretty thin. It's pretty malnourished.
What do you think?
Oh man, yeah, touch up real nice.
Oh yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This one's fire.
Welcome to Centerville Bank Stadium, Major League Rugby Championship game, 28th of June, 2 p.m. Get your tickets.
Thank you for patiently waiting. You're now witnessing greatness. You're now looking at two aces that's awe and amazement, more than standing ovations. Raw results for the take and mega rev back. Do our thing, don't go with the latest. You know how it goes. They tell me quit, but I'm too lit. Make moves, no excuses. The truth is the shoe fits. These rap cats wearing rap caps.
Welcome to the Rugby Rundown.
A one-stop shop for all rugby lovers, from unparalleled access, big name interviews, and special features. I'm Alana Martin.
Jocko here.
We've got you covered.
Beyond the try-line lies a world to be discovered. New cultures, new friendships, new experiences. Grow as a player and as a person. Build bonds to last a lifetime. Your adventure starts now. Visit Inspire Sport to learn more and book your team rugby tour.
All right, I'm now joined by hooker Karen Van Vuren. Thank you so much for taking the time. And this is your first year in a foreign country, in America. Tell me what your experience has been like so far.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Actually, first couple months, I think just over 3 months I've been here.
Wow.
But I actually am really enjoying it. Seattle's a beautiful place, and you know, the people are amazing, and yeah, really enjoyed it so far.
I do want to ask about your journey with rugby, because from what I understand, it didn't start with rugby. You were really talented when it comes to swimming and cricket.
Yeah, so I played cricket and from a very young age, a lot of ball sports and anything to do with the water. It was not until I got to my high school where a lot of my friends had been playing rugby, and they kind of persuaded me into playing. You know, I actually just kind of fell in love with the game, and yeah, just continued to work on the game and get better, and through that process, and yeah, just fell in love with it.
So cool. Yeah. In South Africa, you're actually pretty involved with an orphanage.
Yeah, it was. It's in my local town in Durban. Just a local orphanage/charity. This place takes them in and gives them a new opportunity to get education, to have a normal life.
Well, so grateful that we got a chance to get to know you a little bit more one-on-one, and can't wait to see what else you do this season in your first season with the Seawolves. Thanks for stopping by and appreciate your time.
Perfect. Thanks so much for having me, and yeah, cool.
Stream the full interview and more on the Fox Local app.
In an ever-changing landscape where every decision matters, our mission is clear: to delight our customers at every turn. At Globant, we create the digital products everybody loves and empower global brands by building impactful solutions for millions of people. Our studio networks are responsible for creating experiences that leave a lasting impact, building AI-powered business solutions tailored to each industry, empowering brands with a blend of creativity, strategy, and technology, enhancing efficiency and accelerating breakthroughs with a unique AI model and agents for software development, boosting productivity with cutting-edge tech and implementation services with market-leading partners. Driven by technology and passion, we dare to go far, we dare to go fast, we dare to disrupt. Globant, technology that dares to delight.
Welcome to Centreville Bank Stadium, Major League Rugby Championship game, 28th of June, 2 p.m. Get your tickets.
Thank you for patiently waiting. You're now witnessing greatness. You're now looking at two aces that's awe and amazement, more than standing ovations. Raw results for the taking, mega rev back. Do our thing, don't go with the latest. You know how it goes. They tell me quit, but I'm too lit. Make moves, no excuses. The truth is the shoe fits. These rap cats wearing rap caps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
This one's fire.
Yesterday in round 17, it was 1 hosting number 2 in the West, and it was 35-12 to Utah at halftime, but LA posted a fight back. Nick Chan scoring at the 76th minute to make it 41-33, but this intercept try to Spencer Jones put it well beyond doubt, and Utah firmly wrap up the number 1 spot in the West. LA have a nervous wait now to see if Houston takes their number 2 spot. And in Torero Stadium, San Diego had an important match as well to keep their playoff hopes alive against DC, and it was Brad Wilkins scoring to open up the scoreboard 17 minutes in, 7 points to 0, and possibly the try of the match, started by Rian Stowers and ended with Rian Stowers. 21 points to 0, San Diego are on a tear. And now in the second half, Stephen Cripp, the fly half, makes it 28 points to 0 before DC finally post their first score at the 51st minute through Owen Sheehy. But Brad Wilkin with a hat trick finishes it up, ties it in a nice little bow, 50 points to 5, and San Diego still alive.
San Diego still alive indeed, but they are watching this one with bated breath. Seattle, if they win and they get the bonus point, they will take San Diego's spot in the postseason. It's gone final in the Lone Star State. Houston by Anthem 26-14. So Houston had already clinched a playoff spot. They may well have just clinched a home field match as well. So here is how things look in the standings. Utah, Houston, LA are all in. The battle for that fourth and final spot between San Diego and Seattle. Seattle on their way, but they need 2 more tries and a win here in the final 40 minutes. New England, Chicago, Old Glory, Miami. The East is set. We know all 4 teams that are going to be in. Here is how the playoff picture looks. Here is how the bracket looks thus far. June 14th, we'll have our first match in the East. 2-seed Chicago hosting the 3-seed DC. The following day, the 1-seed defending champion New England taking on Miami. Utah and San Diego. Right now, it's San Diego. If Seattle gets the victory, that's going to be Seattle in that 4-seed. They would head out to the Wasatch to take on the Warriors. And then Houston will host LA. Again, all trying to get to the MLR Championship Final in Rhode Island. Stick with us. Halftime, Seattle on top by 4.
Welcome to the Rugby Rundown.
A one-stop shop for all rugby lovers. From unparalleled access, big-name interviews, and special features. I'm Alana Marr.
Jocko here.
We've got you covered.
Beyond the try line lies a world to be discovered. New cultures, new friendships, new experiences. Grow as a player and as a person. Build bonds to last a lifetime. Your adventure starts now. Visit Inspire Sport to learn more and book your team rugby tour.
This season, his 4th start. Scored his first career try against RFCLA a couple of matches ago. And here he goes, right on cue. Peyton Wall trying to get away, and he will.
Nasty character there. So Miami gets their first chance as Foley slides this one out to the right side, and bumping around that first tackle is Orlando, and into the open now Foley, and Inciarte, and he gets it into the 7, and my goodness.
Stevens, outside high ball, good job by Fido to play it on to Tongawiya, now breaking away here. Looking for help on the offload, and Duplessis finds it, and he finds Damian Stevens.
And Smith will put his left foot into this one. Webster takes it with confidence, in stride. Brock Webster. Oh, for the ball! But in the end, there it is. Cam Nordley.
Today's match is proudly brought to you by No Cap. No sugar, no caffeine, no calories, No Cap Soda Pop. The official soda pop of the next generation. Available in-store and online today. And by Vitacos. Game day essentials, everyday savings. The official online health retailer of MLR. Shop now at Vitacos.com. Take a look at our first half highlights, Mark. It took very little time for Seattle to get going.
That's right, kid. Starting at a furious pace from the kickoff. It was Futi to Stuckling and, of course, Rickett Hadding. We always see him involved. And a matter of moments later, it was Malembe Mpofu to score the first try 2 minutes in. And Seattle, 7 points to 0 over Miami. It was looking like a horror story because only a few minutes later, at the 17th minute, Jade Stuckling set free by Duncan Matthews. No one in front. And they are looking like vintage Seattle at this stage. 14 points to 0 in the first quarter. But it would be Miami to hit back next. Josh McAdam, no idea how he got over this try line under immense pressure. Matthews, we thought, had made the try saver, but he gets it done. 14 points to 7 now in favor of Seattle, and then 14-10 with a late penalty kick.
Take a look at our first half stats brought to you by Sportable. Obviously, possession territory in favor of Miami, but that scrum success, just 50% from Seattle, and add to that 12 penalties conceded.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, Kit? Miami, although they're not on front in the scoreboard, they have led every category here in the stats that we see, apart from clean breaks, and that's the difference, the classy backline of Seattle.
That is the difference indeed. As the second half underway, Yona with the kick for the final 40 minutes of the regular season. Seattle need the win, and they need 2 more tries if they're going to head to the postseason. If they're unable to do that, San Diego will be the 4th and final seed in the Western Conference. Legion waiting, hoping, fingers crossed, down in Southern California. Morley able to get the box kick off past the fingertips there of CC Mahoney, met immediately. Good work from Soto in his MLR debut with the tackle. Seattle came out quickly. David Kutsa rumbling forward. Busey with the tackle. Seattle looking to impress in the second half, much the way they did to start the first. As Sharks down a man, their starting hooker, Sean McNulty, in the bin, saw yellow in the 37. So Seattle with the man advantage for the next 4 minutes. What can they make of it? Can they extend this 4-point lead? Yoda. Out wide, Rousseau. Noah. Samoan International unable to get the offload, but Seattle moving quickly on the front foot. Kutsa into the open arms of the 8 Falau. Smith surveys, selects to go to the top side. Has Fouchier. Knocked on by Seattle, a chance to catch our breath. A torrid open 90 seconds, reminiscent of what we saw to open the game.
Just about to say that, Kit. Looks as though Seattle starting the second half the way they did in the first. Obviously, Alan Clark of halftime has given him a rev up. But Miami doing what they do, just making a nuisance of themselves, halting that momentum of Seattle, frustrating Seattle at the moment.
Mark, you said it, Miami, kind of a thorn in the side, that pebble in the shoe, whatever you want to say, but they just hang around. They make things difficult for their opponents, and they're certainly doing that here today.
You're so right, Kid.
22, yeah.
You watch them, they are great defenders.
No, she was outside of the pit.
They scramble well when they need to. They make the strong tackle, 2-man tackle coming in. It's almost like they just pick their times, even though you might see the opposition make a line break, get in behind. We saw the statistics at halftime. Clean line breaks from Seattle's been the difference. But every other line break, or like half those line breaks, Miami somehow come across and clean things up, maybe even steal the ball. You can't give them an inch.
Well, you certainly cannot. You see, that is when they're at their best. Those broken play situations, things maybe not going as their opponents would like. Morley. Miami taking their time here.
Use it,
trying to get situated. Told to use it by referee Saba Abuashvili. Matthews, so good under the high ball. Rare the South African fullback ever makes a mistake. And Mpofu scored the first try out wide. Fouchier looking for the offload, has it. Here comes Ivan Rousseau, drugged down from behind his opposite number, Malanos, with a huge tackle from Miami's vice captain. It's going to be advantage to Seattle, says our referee. Or Yoda through the hands. Matthews yet again. Matthews cutting through. Matthews will dot it down. And a massive try for Seattle. The one-man wonder that is Duncan Matthews with their 3rd of the match.
Duncan Matthews doing only what Duncan Matthews can do. We see Seattle spreading the ball wide, and this was a beauty as well. Fouchier gets the ball back in, keeping the ball alive. Rousseau heading toward his support. And now Miami struggling in defense. They get their line together. Nothing really happening for Seattle, but they have one thing, Duncan Matthews. he will make something happen.
He still has to kick.
31-year-old out of the Western Cape in South Africa, third in the league in meters gained. Absolutely electric. And they're going to say that is a 7-point try as Matthews dotted it down underneath the post, so an automatic 7 points. No conversion will be taken as the score now 21 points to 10. Seattle on top. Miami making a change in the second row as Mauro Rebusone comes off, giving way to his countryman Federico Gutierrez takes over. Seattle fans have seen it throughout the 4 years that Matthews has been with this side. But his head coach, Alan Clark, told me earlier this year, he said, this is the best form Duncan Matthews has been in since he's been in Seattle, and you can certainly see it. No argument here.
You've got to be in some kind of form to be the best form if you're Duncan Matthews, I can tell you.
This one bouncing through the hands, and Miami will end up with it. Seattle unable to take it cleanly.
Okay, he got the ball. Before that, there was no cone.
Knocked on by Seattle, and that's a situation they've just lost it in the setting sun.
Yeah, I think that's clearly the case. It seemed to be a sitter for Mpofu, who was upset straight through his hands. And obviously the backup player, let's see who it was, not ready for it. Thought it would be taken. Oh, yeah, that's, imagine jumping up and contesting with that setting sun.
That's good now. That's okay now.
So Miami back to even strength. McNulty out of the bin. It is back to 15v15 on the pitch here at Starfire. But an 11-point lead for Seattle. Matthews try to start the second half.
And we talk about that setting sun. Don't be fooled by Miami's kicking game.
Too much movement.
Expect to see them use that setting sun. Why not? It's what they do. They might just kick to that side of the field and try and make mistakes or force the mistake from any Seattle player receiving, looking into the sun.
Here we go.
So it could be an advantage for Miami with the sun at their backs in this second half.
And without a doubt, that's a great point there. Is a change coming on. Mike Pereira, the Florida native, making his MLR debut. And Miami, 5 players a chance to make their MLR debut. Sharks starting Earring and Soto. Coming off the bench, Pereira and Bales as well. Being able to show what they can do here. We'll see, is it an intentional knock?
Oh, this might be a red card.
And what a turn this could be if that is indeed the case. Yoda the man. No, it's going to be Inafuti.
Oh, I thought it was Rousseau.
Derek, can you confirm the number?
Yeah, because that's why I said red card. It's a second yellow for Rousseau, who I think it is. Derek will pick it up.
No, it's a deliberate knock-on. There's nothing.
There's confirmation. It is Rousseau. This would be his second yellow, which would be a red for the start of maybe an international.
Number 13. I already had a great.
He's hiding.
Number 13.
His shoe's not untied at all.
Okay, that's a yellow card. Go. Yeah. Deliberate knock-on.
Oh, and the Miami player's telling the ref, sir,
that's number 13.
By the way, that's his second yellow. So here it is. Rousseau coming in. Oh, it was like a half-hearted attempt as well from Rousseau. He got in the way and
just let me check.
Tried to shut down the play.
Derek, do you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, just what I want to confirm is number. I believe there is a deliberate knock-on. There was no chance for number whoever it was to catch the ball. There is a deliberate knock-on and the light break chance. I just need to confirm the number if you are picking the correct number.
That's number 13, correct? Yes.
Can just wait, please. Just wait. Just wait.
Saba, do you want me to confirm the number or any other information?
Yeah, just confirm the deliberate knock-on because I believe it is.
It is deliberate.
And afterwards, can you confirm the number?
It is a deliberate knock-on. It is number 13.
It is deliberate knock-on. It is number 13, so it's a second yellow card for him, and that's a red card. Right?
There's the confirmation.
Deliberate no count. He's number 13.
So Rousseau will be done for the match, and Seattle is going to be down a man for the next 20 minutes. As he saw his second yellow, saw one in the first half, a second just moments ago. And what a turn this is. Seattle would come out, a roaring start to the second half, able to extend the lead. They were up just 4 points at the break, now an 11-point lead, but down a man for the next 20.
Certainly that try by Matthews was a nice buffer, because had this red card happened before that, Clarkey would be tearing his hair out. But yes, you're right, kid. This could potentially be devastating for Seattle.
Okay, bring him.
Miami now, if they can capitalize straight away on this red card. They've got 20 minutes with an extra man out there.
Okay, we're good to go.
It's not in the forward pack, so they won't have the advantage taking on the Seattle pack, but maybe out wide in the backs they will.
One of the top players for Seattle out for the remainder of this. And here comes Seattle running out of their own end. The try scorer stumbling. Finally brought down Malanos with a huge tackle as Yoda. And Seattle taking advantage of the broken play on the front foot into Miami territory. As Peterson coming on for Seattle, a replacement in the front row. But what a turn here, down a man in Seattle. Playing like their lives and season are on the line, and it is. Picked up. Miami trying to run out of their own end. A big tackle there. Elton lowering the boom on Pareda, the new addition. Seattle's leading tackler. Back it goes Malanos with the show and go. Malanos able to spin off one. And Pofu finally able to wrap him up. Things really starting to open up here in the 50th minute. Bit of space for Miami along the near touchline. Miami coming forward. A dummy. Soto with the offload. Sure, Haskin dots it down, and the Sharks on the board with their second try of the match. Don't go anywhere. 50 minutes to play, and this is going to be an ending. I can tell you what, my friend.
I don't know what I just witnessed. Miami with a 5-meter line out, loses it. Seattle brings it all the way back up, nearly into the 22. Loses it, gives it to Miami. And this happens.
Saba, can you hear me?
What a try. And Chase Shaw Haskin with that support.
No issue there. 7 blue. I have head contact.
Yep.
I have foul play. I have a not high degree of danger. It's a yellow card to 7 blue.
And what a turn this would be. Seattle's leading tackler, Charles Elton. Take another look at what our TMO Derek Summers was referring to. Here it is.
Yeah, so what you're saying is
high contact on Pareda.
he's upright.
Correct.
Contact is into the head.
Correct.
And Seattle may well be down not 1 but 2 men
Correct.
in a matter of moments.
Oof.
Okay, once the try was scored, we're not going to get to the penalty, but we're going to give the yellow card.
Correct.
Well, they don't like doing it easy, do they, Seattle? This edge of your seat stuff.
Malachi Osiel, US 7-star on for Inafuti.
Captain and number 7. Bring the 7. Bring him.
Videla. No trouble on the conversion. The Chilean international splits the stakes.
So what we have now,
Back to a 4-point game.
he's making the tackles. There's a head contact. He's upright. There's not high degree of danger. That will be a yellow card. We're not going to go for penalty because try was called, but it is a yellow card.
Oh, yellow card to Elton. So Seattle not 1 but 2 men in the bin. Elton out for the next 10.
Thanks, Derek.
And again, they are without Rousseau for the remainder of this. His second yellow resulting in a red. Seattle not making it easy on themselves.
They certainly are not. This is now an opportunity for Seattle to show what they're made of. We nearly saw them score from a turnover with a man down.
Back to a 4-point game. Miami Up 2 men. They can spoil the season. And right now, no bigger fans of the Sharks than the San Diego Legion. Just under half an hour remaining. Final result still very much hanging in the balance here in the Emerald City.
You stay on side, okay?
Fourth and final spot in the Western Conference playoffs up for grabs. Mark, if there was not already enough drama coming into today, well, Seattle's decided to add a little bit more.
Sure have. Craziness. And I don't know if it's just me, but is that home crowd quietened down a little bit, Kit?
Considerably. You are right about that, my friend. And Mpofu. Fans at Starfire shocked with what has transpired of late. 2 men in the bin, advantage to Seattle. Mpofu scored the first try for Seattle. Smith back to Yona. Behind to Matthews. If anybody can do it, it's Duncan Matthews. Kicks through. Matthews back to Duncan Matthews, and he is in. Against the run of play. Down to Matthews with the brace.
Just sheer class. Duncan Matthews seems to just be doing it all himself. His teammates not making it easy. The switch play was a beauty. A stroke of luck. Had it not hit the shoulder, probably would have sat up perfectly for him anyway in the end goal. Sadly for Videla, the ricochet went straight back to the try scorer. Duncan Matthews. Just incredible stuff. And remember, with only 13 men on the field, as long as one of the 2 men off the field is not Duncan Matthews, you're going to be okay.
Right you are. Yona adds the conversion, 28-17, back to an 11-point lead. And that is the 4th all-important try for Seattle. Matthews with a brace. They needed a win. They needed the bonus point that comes with 4 tries. And they are a little less than half an hour away from doing just that. Duncan Matthews, talk about taking matters in your own hands. Miami, time to respond. They are up a man for the next 7. They're up 2 for the next 7. Up a man for the next 13 plus. Matthews getting things done. Peterson has first receiver, a rare carry for the prop. Miami needs to respond. Fans shell-shocked at Starfire, and Matthews bringing them to their feet as he has so many times in his career here. Captain Hadding unable to keep it in. Again, what a play from Duncan Matthews. Take another look.
Well, again, it seemed like there was really nothing happening. Half a gap at best, and trust Duncan Matthews to find it and then accelerate through.
Good line out throw here. McNulty, no, maybe not straight, and that is indeed going to be the case. Miami thought they had it, throws not straight. Miami up 2 men. These are mistakes you cannot make. Just need to get a good line out throw in, but not the case from Sean McNulty.
Well, exactly, Kid, and Seattle will be loving this. Seemed okay to me, but not straight by the slightest of margins. And what Seattle want to do while they're 2 men down is just keep the ball. While they've got the ball, they're not as vulnerable as they would be in defense.
Scrum to Seattle, J.P. Smith. 11-point lead for the Seawolves. They have not made it easy on themselves. Not 1, but 2 men in the bin. They will be down 2 for the next 5. They'll be without their star Namibian international center, Divine Rousseau, for the remainder, as he saw his 2nd yellow. Equaling a red just about 8 minutes ago. Fouchier. Stuckling. Show and go. Jade Stuckling looking for the offload. Couldn't get it into the hands of Fouchier. Smith quick to the breakdown. Now Yona. Yona. Rose tackle from behind.
Advantage.
The advantage. Rose possibly with a high tackle there on Yona. Smith, pick and go from JP. And the offload went forward to the captain, Rickard Hadding.
Go back.
Back we go. The high tackle against Miami's Rick Rose.
Not falling away. Not falling away.
Rose, the first overall selection back in the 2023 MLR draft out of St. Bonaventure, the former All-American.
Captain. Oh, shot call.
They will take an opportunity to bring out the T. Will Yona extend this lead, and why not take more precious seconds off the clock? And remember, Seattle's done all of this with not one but two men in the band. You think it'd be Miami on the front foot dictating, but it's been Seattle.
Yeah, that's...
Man, the mark's about 5 meters to his right, so it's about 5 meters to his right.
You're so right. Just keep that yellow and red card ticking away.
Correct. Yeah, closer to the stand. Yeah.
But if he can make it a precious 3 points as well.
Right here. I want to move. Yes, thank you, Derek.
Miami would have to score
Sorry for that.
3 times
My
now
bad. It was wrong mark.
to take the lead. Should this be successful?
Seattle with a pair of tries in the first half, a pair of tries in the second, both coming from Duncan Matthews here in half number 2. They have the 4 they needed, the bonus point. They need to hold on for the victory. Yona looking to do his part. Penalty attempt from the Samoan international. Yona pushes it wide, unable to send it through, so it'll stay 28-17 Seattle. Just over 20 minutes remaining.
Do we have to have a water break now? Okay. Water break.
And we'll take our second and final hydration break. 20 to go. Seattle 28, Miami 17. Seawolves looking to book their spot in the playoffs.
In an ever-changing landscape where every decision matters, our mission is clear: to delight our customers at every turn. At Globant, we create the digital products everybody loves and empower global brands by building impactful solutions for millions of people. Our studio networks are responsible for creating experiences that leave a lasting impact, building AI-powered business solutions tailored to each industry, empowering brands with a blend of creativity, strategy, and technology, enhancing efficiency and accelerating breakthroughs with a unique AI model and agents for software development, boosting productivity with cutting-edge tech and implementation services with market-leading partners. Driven by technology and passion, we dare to go far, we dare to go fast, we dare to disrupt. Globant, technology that dares to delight.
Mark, take another look. Until this game goes final, San Diego is still in the postseason. If Seattle's able to hang on, they will take that 4th and final spot. They will head out to face Utah in the Beehive State. Houston will host LA. But again, right now, for the time being, San Diego is in Seattle doing their job. They have the 4 tries, but they have to hold on for the win.
Good to go.
They do. They have to hold on. And remember, they've got 2 men down. So if Miami are going to spoil the party, it needs to be right now capitalizing on 2 men down for Seattle. It's not going to be for long either. With that red card to Rousseau, we know at least nearly 10 minutes where they'll have 1 man down. And Rousseau, remember, with a red card, will not return to the field. They can replace him when that red card clock ticks to 0. But that's it for Divan.
Charles Elton just about 2 minutes away from rejoining. But Seattle down 2. It has not had an impact on the Seawolves. Counterintuitively, they've been the attacking team. They've been the better team. And, well, that's because of the man with the number 15 on the back of his kit, Duncan Matthews. What an impressive display from him. Taking matters into his own hands. Pair of second-half tries. The last one in the 52nd, stunning against the run of play. Seattle on top by 11. Miami, if they're going to spoil the party, they have little time to do so. Miami's already in. They are into the Eastern Conference playoffs, just their second season as a franchise, ahead of Jose Pelacena's schedule. A heavily rotated Shark side tonight.
And Kip, win or lose, it's important that they have a good performance, Miami, as well, going into the playoffs, confidence-wise. It's always risky when you rotate the squad. Oh, dear.
Not straight.
Lineout woes continue for McNulty. Another lineout throw, not straight. That is the second in a row.
You can't be surprised with that. That's not straight.
And Mark, you said it. You want to go into the playoffs on a high note. You want to go in playing good rugby with some momentum, confidence. You do not want to limp into the playoffs.
Jose Pelesena told us, you know, it is a risk. It is a risk to put out your less than top team against someone like Seattle, fighting for survival, putting their best team out there. If you suffer a blowout, you might be in the playoffs, but you're taking a heavy defeat into your first playoff game. So it's important for Miami either way to win. They could get themselves into third spot, but at the very least, they want confidence from this performance.
They do indeed. They have 20 minutes. What can Miami do? Hiding the captain. Seattle on to Devin Short, the Las Vegas native. Easy to pick out there, the peroxide blonde locks. Cameron Orr, a rare carry for the big loose-head Kiwi. Here they come, hiding again. Rose wrestles him to ground. But Seattle all of a sudden on the front foot, really feeling it. And Miami able to win the penalty here, much to the chagrin of J.P. Smith.
Yeah. Again, Miami doing what they do. Just as we were mentioning before, their style of play and how they keep themselves, they scrap themselves into contention every single game. Certainly one thing they've missed tonight is the breakdown play of Manu Ardao as Elton returns to the field. But Ardao adds to that something that Miami has, stealing ball at those opportune times. Just when their opposition thinks they've got momentum, Manu Ardao comes in, steals the ball. We haven't seen that from Miami tonight, but they've still done a fantastic job of, as we said before, making use. It's a quick free kick as well, the scrum, and away they go.
Here comes Miami. Bit of space out wide for the Sharks to exploit as Bale's on. Short, as we said, the Las Vegas native. His 75th cap. Wingluski also would be in that rarefied air if the Tulsa native comes on as well, the USA Eagle. You mentioned Ardao, obviously the Uruguayan international, not in the 23 today. Neither Shane O'Leary, Miami's leading scorer, who's been stellar. A lot of big and familiar faces for the Sharks, not in the 23. Obviously that is by design, but you said, and Jose Pelesena told us as much, he was very honest about it, it's a risk.
But a risk worth taking to keep players like Ardao fresh for the big game.
Not straight.
A line out throw, not straight. This time it's Seattle, unable to send it down the tunnel. Both teams having issues with the set piece here. As you said, Elton back on, but Seattle still down a man for the next 4.5 minutes. Rousseau saw his second yellow. Seattle will be able to replace Steven Rousseau. He will not be able to come back on. His afternoon is done.
Okay, we go.
Scrum to Damian Morley and Miami. Still just an 11-point deficit, but if they're going to do something, now is the time. Seattle has gotten one thing done. Rookie celebrating Pride Night here. Great atmosphere as always at Starfire. They've gotten the 4 tries. Can they hold on for the victory? Malanos out wide. Pereira able to hold on to it. The newest addition back into play. Videla bundled into touch. Yona leading the way for Seattle, as is so often the case with number 10.
You don't see it from every number 10. But Rodney Yona picked his time, just coming across in defense, waiting for his moment, and then pow. Thank you very much. Videla had no chance.
Well, you said it. You and I have had the opportunity of seeing Yona play throughout his career, and it doesn't matter how many pounds, how many inches he's giving up. He never shies away from a tackle. Seattle, good line out throw here. Elton with the bump off right through Pereira. Seattle to the blind side. Hadding. Seattle really starting to feel it now. Peterson unable to hold on, but Yona does. Rodney Yona. No, we will come back. Yona thought he was off to the races. Not the case.
Well, there's definitely a knock on from Seattle, but I wonder if there's any foul play.
There was no kick.
From Miami. We saw some players upended in tackles.
No foul play.
Okay, there you go. Derek Summers just answered my question.
TMO, possible tip tackle, but was not the case, says Derek Summers. Get another look at Mason Peterson.
Yeah, there's the knock on, and that was the tackle from Isaac Bales in question. Fortunately for Miami.
Let's go.
Bales, the former Louisville Cardinal, making his MLR debut, is Alec McDonald coming on. Former Lindenwood man and Missouri native taking over for Tucci.
Good to go.
So fresh legs in the front row now for Miami. Just under 15 minutes remaining. Still an 11-point deficit. It has not grown, but it has not shrunk either. Miami's not been able to chip away at it. Seattle less than 90 seconds away from being back to 15 all. And that red card on Rousseau will expire.
And kid, it's those periods we talked about. Seattle down 2 men. That's what builds confidence, when they're able to not cause too many more casualties.
Videla. Alanos to the boot. Matthews there. Matthews with the fin and the step. Matthews. Back to Burns. Into the setting sun. Malanos trying to take matters into his own hands. It's not been a factor, at least not a big one, as Miami would have hoped here in the second half. Tommy Malanos. Seattle organizing things here defensively. Plenty of time. This ball finally coming out. Oh, what a hit. OJ Noah that time. Videla. Back behind his intended target. Was it knocked on?
I thought that was another deliberate. Here's that tackle. Combined, 2 men hit. You know it was Noah. Who else was it? Was it Kotze in there as well?
It was indeed. David Kutza and OJ Noah combining. Fouchier loses his footing.
Carried back.
Carried back in by the South African Eddie Fouchier.
Oh, that means a 5-meter scrum. Well, good tactic from Miami. The clever kick behind and the chase. Fouchier easily won the race, but the ball just not cooperating. So a little stumble. Takes it in.
Deliberate knocking the ball. Okay.
Seattle starting to dip into that reserves bench. Jesse McHale coming out, as his replacement scrum half, and Nick Boyer. And Chance Winkluski, USA Eagle, with his 75th MLR appearance on the pitch as well. Miami also making changes as the Tongan international towel below Matangi on. Good showing from Kutsa, the Canadian international.
See Nick Boyer coming on. Hasn't he been a revelation late in the season for Seattle?
Amazing. He was signed right before that trade deadline ended at the end of April. His first 2 matches with Seattle, he was first 15 both weeks. Had not lost a step, a huge revelation. Really kept the playoff hopes alive for Seattle, did Boyer. Miami need to move quickly, unable to hold it cleanly. Went backwards, Miami still with the opportunity, still possession for the Sharks. As Bales wrestled down, Devin short there. Gutierrez. Videla. Malanos trying to get across. Boyer, the tackle. Morley intercepted. Stuffling has 1. It's going to be 2. Jake Stuffling coast to coast from the South African wing. And that may well do it. 10 minutes remaining and Seattle fans can begin to breathe a sigh of relief as Stuffling has inched his team closer to another postseason berth.
It was either a try to Jade Stuffling or Miami on that occasion. It goes past the Seattle wing into, couldn't quite see who the Miami player was on the wing. They were a certain try, had it gone into their hands.
Thank you.
But this is what Seattle can do against the run of play. You have finishers like this man right here, and you are looking good. 2 dynamic backline players there congratulating one another. Between the 2 of them, 4 tries, a bonus point between those 2 players right there.
Both South Africans with a brace today. Yona looking for the conversion to make it 35-17. Chip shot sends it through. Under 10 minutes remaining. Seattle. 1 eye on the clock as Stuffling and Matthews leading by example. Make it closer to another trip to the playoffs due to Seattle Seawolves.
Well, we talked about that potential blowout. There's still 10 minutes left in this game. Miami have done well to this point, but they certainly do not want to completely implode right now.
Krumrai taking the place of Malimbe Mpofu. The initial try score put Seattle ahead 90 seconds in. Seattle has not trailed in this match, but it was just a 4-point lead. They were up 14-10 at the break. The second half has belonged to the Seawolves, even down 2 men. They've still been the better side. Piusi giving away to the Tongan international, Koloa Matangi, as we mentioned. Right now, Seattle just trying to hold on, get out of this one. Neither side wants any injuries in these final few minutes. Seattle fans can start to book their travel arrangements out to the Beehive State to take on the 1 seed top team in the West, Utah Warriors.
First.
The advantage to Miami, and back we will come.
Never released.
Malanos, Videla, they've been bright spots today. Videla, the lone player in the 15 who remains from last week's victory when they beat San Diego at home, 36-32. 14 new faces for the Sharks. We've seen that in some of the combinations. Sometimes just not on the same page, and symptomatic of having 14 of the 15 is new additions. You know that better than anyone. That's bound to happen. Bales with the throw. Stolen away, hiding. Seawolves fans on their feet. It is now, it appears, just a matter of time.
Use it. Use it now.
Boyer told to use it. A touch finder from Boyer, a chance to catch our breath. But what a second half, Mark, we said it. It was just a 4-point Seattle lead coming into the second half, season on the line. Matthews extended it, but then Rousseau with his second yellow. Elton just minutes later put Seattle down 2, but they found another gear, and that's what champions do.
Well, that's where I wish I was a fly in the wall in that change room at halftime for Seattle. What did Clarkey say?
Picked up by Dutoy. Inside the 22, Miami trying to find something. Kalo Matangi. 6 minutes remaining. McDonald now. Videla, Malanos, Dutoy. Barreda stood up by Hadding. Seawolves fans on their feet. Do not want Shore Haskett in Miami to find any more points. Trying to keep this 18-point lead. Malanos able to get away from Stuckling, has a pair of tries. A big tackle there for the South African. Now Bales.
Five minutes.
Back to Videla.
Thanks to my forward.
A forward pass, and you can see in just an exhausted Miami side. Hands on hips from both teams right here. And Miami, you said it, they were already in the playoffs, but they do not want to limp in as we take a look at our player of the match candidates. Walimi Mpofu, impressive stuff from the lock. Got the party started for Seattle, found that first try, 90 seconds in, and it's Stuckling and Matthews. What can you say? Both with a brace tonight.
They've been outstanding, haven't they? As has Rickett Hadding in the second half. A little quiet in the first half, but he's had a barnstorming second half. Rodney Yona, Inafuti could also be featured in that lineup. And for Miami, let's give some credit to Thomas Malanos, Videla. They've been outstanding as well for Miami, trying their absolute best.
Starfire, such a difficult place for opponents to come play, and that has been the case since year one for Seattle. They're undefeated at home in their last 5 matches, and that is one thing that they are very cognizant of. They want this to be a fortress, a difficult place for opponents to come and play, and they've done just that again this season as their star number 8, Samoan OJ Noah, limping off the pitch. And now you would imagine Seattle's going to start to look toward the playoffs, keeping players like Noah healthy, or as healthy as they can be heading into the postseason.
And you just look at these players at this end of the season, wrapped up like mummies. All the strapping gladiators, they really are, these players. And expected to, in this part of the season and going into the playoffs, find another level when they're already battered and bruised, heavily strapped.
Here's the mark.
They're just something else.
Mark, it's a great point. No one is 100% at this stage of the season. And you see the grit, the determination that all these players have been displaying, particularly for Seattle with their season on the line today. Under 3 minutes remaining. A team that hoisted the first 2 ever MLR shields back in 2018 and 2019 will head to the postseason yet again. Yona, Matthews. Matthews turning it on. Here comes Duncan Matthews. Could it be 3? Boucher, now Esdale. Unable to find his teammate in the offload. It'll find Videla instead. Videla. Miami through the hands. Yona with a fin.
Seattle playing with a knock-on advantage.
Seattle wants to end on a high note. Short. Skipping through. Devin Short has Boyer. And it's going to be another for the Seawolves. Nick Boyer with the exclamation point. 2 minutes to go, and Seattle is headed to the playoffs in 2025.
We've seen this a lot in this game. Back-to-back turnovers. Open, free-flowing play. It was Miami who created the turnover, but then Yona digs the shoulder in, rips the ball, keeps it alive. I mean, how did he evade those defenders? For one, gets it out to Smith, and then short, had plenty to do. Picks it up around his bootlaces and then finds Boyer perfectly positioned in the middle of the field to take the last pass. That's what he's been doing this season. Adding some pace, some energy, an embarrassment of riches for this Seattle squad, that's for sure.
And the way Seattle has come in to this match and the way they're going to be heading into the postseason, Utah will be advised to not take them lightly, even as the 4 seed. That is going to be a battle out in the Wasatch. Yona. No trouble on the conversion, 42-17. Seattle on top, under a minute remaining. The celebration's already beginning at Starfire. Boyer off the bench, taking the place of Rousseau, who saw the red card. Such a talented, versatile player, pointing to the imaginary watch. He knows it's just seconds remaining, and everyone in blue does as well.
Left or right?
The question, as you said, Mark, how does Miami fare? They're in the postseason, but this is not how they wanted to back in a loss like this, just their second ever meeting against the Seawolves. Seattle took the first a year ago, and they will take the second as well. Miami is definitely going to have to regroup before the playoffs commence next week. Clock in the red, 80 minutes gone. Seattle waiting to be told they can send it to touch and start the celebrations.
Sorry, repeat, please.
They needed a win. They needed a bonus point win, and they have done just that with their season on the line. Hiding. Oh, show and go from the captain, still on his feet.
What, we got knock on? Who's speaking about number 2?
Players seem to be confused. Sorry, sir, what'd you say? Rickett holding his arms out. Well, knock on, it wasn't me. The last play of the game coming up, surely. Can Miami have the final say? They'd really like to.
Fans on their feet, Pride Night at Starfire. There's been a lot to be proud of tonight. One of the better supported teams in MLR since their inception. A fantastic franchise. The front office, the coaches, the players, the fans, they all buy in. And a reason it is such a class outfit and a difficult place for opponents to come away with a win. Miami will not tonight, as Seattle has done what they were tasked with doing. A bonus point victory. Another trip to the postseason. Just seconds away for the Seawolves.
Last action.
Videla. Morley. Gutierrez. Lomatangi. Back to Detoy. It went forward. And there it is. Seattle. A must-win game, and they do just that. Seawolves are headed to the playoffs as the 4 seed. San Diego could only watch as their season comes to a close. Seattle, an impressive performance tonight. The bonus point victory as both these teams heading to the 2025 MLR playoffs. Take a look at our moment of the match. A few to choose from, but, well, you've got to think that second try from Duncan Matthews is probably going to take it, and it will.
That wasn't just a pleasure to watch, but it was crucial for Seattle to get that momentum going forward. At that stage, they had a couple of men off the field as well, but Matthews, class all the way. He has been exceptional.
As indeed, a brace for Matthews, a brace for Stuffling. Seattle heading to the postseason. Stick with us. We will wrap things up from Starfire as Seattle comes away victorious 42-17 and books their spot in the playoffs.
Welcome to the Rugby Rundown.
A one-stop shop for all rugby lovers. From unparalleled access, big-name interviews, and special features.
I'm Alana Mar.
Jocko here.
We've got you covered.
Tonight's match has been proudly brought to you by Sportable. Smart ball insights and data brought to you by Sportable. And by No Cap. No sugar, no caffeine, no calories. No Cap Soda Pop, the official soda pop of the next generation. Available in-store and online today. Season on the line for the Seawolves. They needed a victory. They needed a bonus point win. They do just that. 42 points to 17. Seattle with the victory over Miami. They are headed to the postseason as we are now joined by our player of the match, Duncan Matthews. A brace, a critical brace for you and your side. What was the message? What was the energy and the feeling this week in training, knowing your season was on the line tonight?
It's been the same. It's been the whole season, and for us, it's been to play to our strengths. I mean, we know we have a talented team. We know we have guys that can score 100-meter tries. So the message has been the same as it's been the entire season: is to trust ourselves, to back ourselves, and play for each other.
Duncan, you went into the change room at halftime with the narrowest of leads. We're on the edge of our seats. What was said by Coach Clark? Did he say something like, Duncan, please go and win this game for us? Or what was said in the changing room?
No, it was more discipline. We were just kicking the ball down to them, letting them run at us, and then we concede penalties. So the message was clear: keep the ball in hand, starve them up the ball, and run them off their feet.
Duncan, we've spoke with your head coach, Alan Clark. He said this is your best season with Seattle. What has been the difference? What has been the key to your success in year 4 with the Seawolves?
I think for me personally, like I said, I always try and bring it back to the boys. I mean, I love the guys that I play with, and in the end, for me, it's trying to make them play at their best as a 15. I want to feed my wings, and I think that just helped me elevate my game as well.
And Duncan, you're playing Utah away in the quarterfinals. What do you need to do to advance to that conference final?
I feel like I'm a broken telephone at the moment, but I believe in the guys, man, and I believe if we trust our strengths and we trust what makes us good, I believe we'll beat any team in this competition, and I'll believe we'll make it to the finals. If we play towards our strengths, we back ourselves, and we play guys off their feet.
Well, you certainly did that tonight with your season on the line. Congratulations. Our player of the match, Duncan Matthews, will let you celebrate and take a look at the postseason that is coming up. We take a look at the bracket, and here it is. Seattle secures the 4th seed. They will head to Utah to take on the Warriors. They are the top seed in the West. Houston will host LA in the other Western Conference semi. Over in the East, New England, 2-time defending champion, hosting Miami. The Sharks will have to figure out how they're going to turn things, not the way they wanted it in the regular season. And then a big one in the Windy City, 2-seed Chicago, 3-seed DC. That'll do it for us, for our entire crew. From broadcast partner Mark Sabine, I'm Kip McConico saying good night from Starfire Stadium in Tukwila. The final, Seattle Seawolves 42, Miami Sharks 17. Seattle with a bonus point victory, and they will head to the postseason, the 4th seed in the Western Conference.